So average is about $40,000 for one doctor practice. A lot of you have been already investing on ICD-10 for a couple of years now, and you're not waiting to the last minute. Also, cash flow disruption. I'm going to show you some statistic of expectation on what can happen, worst case scenario. So the financial risk is, if you don't do anything, you get paid. And if you keep sending unspecified codes, I am not sure how long they're going to keep you sending that or be able to submit an unspecified code. So let's say if you're sending diabetes and you send unspecified diabetes, you might get away with it, you might not get away with it, and if you get away with it, I don't know for how long. So I don't want you to take the risk and not get paid, because if you don't get paid, nobody else gets paid. The compliance, so the compliance is not just sending the ICD code, the compliance is the reporting and the documentation. So the estimating is there's going to be 10 to 50% of the first 9 months post-transaction to have denial, and the denial is going to increase by 4 times for the first 15 months. So this information is coming from Precise. Precise is the resource that I am recommending for physician training. I do have no relationship with Precise. So if you're going to do so, you just go on your own and register with them. And they have a very good program that I attended one of their courses. So what is Medisoft is doing about any of this? So Medisoft is going mobile. So I'm going to show you a few mobile apps that can help you. The first one I'm going to show you is, if you're going to redesign your super bill. Now, you might not have enough room if you were really insisting on typing the ICD-10 on your sheet and you don't have enough room, you need to think about it. Do you want to have a super bill that has multiple pages? You want to have a super bill that has a front and back? Or if you technically savvy and you like using an iPad, Medisoft has a free app. The free app will let you redesign your super bill electronically. So what does that mean? Based on the schedule of patient that's coming today, the physician will be able to click on the name and be able to pick which CPT code you're going to use and which ICD-9 or 10 they're going to be using by clicking. Once they hit send, those transactions will go to the biller. I'll show you where they'll be waiting in Medisoft. They'll be waiting in Medisoft just like if you have an EMR. So this is, this is just a hyper without using an EMR, because EMR is supposed to do the same thing. When you finish with the note, the CPT and diagnosis will get into your Medisoft. But there's always problem with bridges. Now this is a native application, and this is written by Medisoft, and it works really nice. There will be some configuration that you need. If you need to do this, the app is free. You can download this from the App Store on your iPhone or iPad or iPad Mini. But to design your template, you can buy training times and learn how to do it, or you can try to figure it out yourself. It's not that hard. If you want us to design this for you, there will be a fee for it. And highly, highly recommended that you should be able to configure your firewall and security to secure your network, because using an app like that, it's actually exposing and utilizing the internet, your Medisoft data to the internet, and white-collar crime has been tremendously on the rise. A lot of hackers are going after doctors' offices because they know how stressed a doctor's office is and how they have everything they want. They have a social security, they have a date of birth, they have an address, they have a medical history, they have everything. So you don't want to expose your data to hackers, so we need to configure your firewall and secure it for you. If you have an IT company, we can give you a list of the things that you need to open and they need to secure, and they can do that for you. So this is how the screen looks. It's really neat, and the physician will be able to click which CPT code, which diagnosis, and that one could roll over to multiple pages. So it's not, it could be like just a longer page. It's not like a sheet of super bill that you used to. So who needs to get trained? Training is, the physician is the number one. They can get hurt the number one. They have the most responsibility because the physician needs to tell the biller, unless you have a certified coder, the physician needs to tell the biller what to bill. And even if you have a certified coder, it's the physician's responsibility at the end what code you use. The coder, biller, medical assistant, and office manager. So Precise do have training for each category I just mentioned. So this is the website for Precise. On the white paper, I created a link directly to the courses. This is just sometimes it takes a few seconds to find out the area for the courses. So this is the main website. Other resources that I included ICD-10data.com. ICD-10data.com has a website where you can convert ICD-9 to ICD-10, and you can search. I'm sorry, but you can search a code by description. You can search it by anything you want. So that resource is good for a computer. The app is usually a lot more user-friendly with a handheld device. But if you're going to use a computer, ICD-10data.com is a good resource. The other areas where I found is medscape.org. They have a course there on how to document using an ICD-10 for documentation. And of course, Medicare has more resources. For Medisoft is the ICD-10 mobile app. I think that's the where you can design your super bill. Encoder Pro. Encoder Pro is a lookup. So if you're the type of person that buys books, Encoder Pro, I believe it's only $150, and you will be able to look up codes without leaving your Medisoft. So you can look up the history of codes, what modifiers use, similar to what you find in a book. It will Encoder Pro does. If you are an orthopedic or any specialty that would be impacted by too many codes, the codes that Medisoft is going to map for you might not be enough. So I'm going to show you in Medisoft, I can take all the codes you have and map them. And the maximum that you will see is 30,000 codes if you map everything. You might not use 30,000 codes, but if you're an orthopedic, there's another, maybe 5,000 codes that you need that they are not there. So are you going to sit down and enter 5,000 codes? So for, I believe, $300 or $390, something like that, you can buy codes on disk. And codes on disk, it gives you all the codes. It will give you all the CPT code, will give you all the diagnosis code, ICD-9 or ICD-10, and it will work for version 19 or version 20. So what's new in Medisoft 20? Let me just make sure nobody has questions yet before we move away. Okay, I see a question here from Jill. Okay, the question is, how can we print a list of the ICD-9 we have already accumulated in Medisoft? I'll show you that when I go into Medisoft. I'll show you that. So if you have any questions, I see somebody raise their hand. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Jill, I don't have you on the phone. I don't see that I can unmute you. So that means you didn't enter your PIN, or maybe you did not. You didn't follow the dialing instructions. So if that was your question, hopefully I answered it. I'll show you that when I turn on Medisoft. Okay, so can you answer? Okay, so I will answer it when I switch to Medisoft. I'm just going through the presentation now, but there's a segment where I'm going to go to Medisoft and show you the other subtopics. I will answer. All right, so in version 20, McKesson, the maker of Medisoft, they took into consideration that everybody's asking ways to make it easier, because with all the different regulation and all the different new people to the insurance and reduction of payment, you have to see more patients in the same amount of time. The one thing it doesn't increase is they still have 24 hours. Last time I checked, and you have to see, if your office hours is 5 times a week or 8 hours a day, how can you fit more patients? So they try as much as possible to automate things for you. So from patient entering their own information to processing statement faster, to have patient pay online without having to bother you in the office, so you can be treating more patients. So it took a lot of effort in Medisoft 20 to be able to have the patient get engaged in once they come to the practice, and be able to sign all the documentation that you want them to sign without having to print anything, and it's all paperless. So we're going to take a 2 minutes. We're going to look at a flash demo quickly. So I'm going to do that, and I hope everybody gets to see it.
Medisoft version 20 has an exciting new set of features that will help your practice decrease the amount of paper in your office, increase customer satisfaction, and ultimately streamline the patient intake process for both you and your patients. Let's jump into our new patient intake mobile application and look at what you'll experience when you pick up the iPad or tablet with Android TM. First, you will see a schedule of patients who will come into the office today. Select a patient to view their basic demographic and financial information, as well as the reason for their visit. When the patient is ready to check in, select Patient Intake and hand them the tablet. The formatting and layout for patient intake is easy to follow and understand. It employs a workflow that your patients, new and existing, use on a daily basis with their mobile devices. Your patients will be prompted to complete and verify a variety of required information that they would normally provide on a paper intake form. Medisoft's Patient Intake mobile application not only replaces intake forms, it allows you to upload unlimited practice-specific forms and waivers. Patients have the ability to electronically sign these materials, making the patient experience completely paperless. Your current patients will simply scroll through and verify or edit their already existing information on the tablet. When the patient is finished, they will press Submit and return the tablet to the front office staff. Information will flow directly into Medisoft for your review. Once you validate the information and accept the changes, the patient's information is applied to the patient and case in Medisoft. Say goodbye to countless hours of copying information from intake forms into Medisoft. The new features in version 20 allow you to streamline the entire information gathering process. To view a full demo and receive more information on Medisoft version 20, please contact your value-added reseller.